Four of the finest words in the English language, pitchers and catchers report. And it starts on Sunday for Major League Baseball. I'm Tom Vandervoort. Welcome into the Sporting News Studios. And joining me now on the phone to talk about the National League, our baseball writer Stan McNeil. And Stan, just looking back to the offseason, when we talk about the National League, which team or teams do you think had the best off seasons?
You look at the National League, and I look at the Nationals. I like what they did. This is a team that led the majors last year in wins, and I think they definitely have improved themselves in the offseason. Dan Herron, the fine starter they signed as a free agent. He struggled some with the Angels last year, but I think he's due for a bounce-back season. Denard Span, the center fielder they traded from the Twins, has been a long-time favorite of the Nationals GM Mike Rizzo, and they were able to get him, I think, which really gives them one of the best defensive outfields, if not one of the best outfields in the game. And I really like the fact that not only were they able to bring back Adam LaRoche, but they were able to bring him back on their terms by not, having to extend to a three-year deal. They held steady there and were able to get that done. And then they kind of wrapped up their offseason by giving Rafael Soriano a very lucrative 2-year deal. Soriano pitched very, very well for the Yankees last year, but this is the one move they made that I'm a little bit skeptical of, just because of how it could affect the chemistry they had working in their bullpen. But just in terms of talent, the Nationals, I think, are a better team today than they were last year. And last year, like I said, they led the majors in wins.
Boy, if you were a Nationals fan and you went to bed 3 years ago and you woke up today, you'd be shocked at how good they've become. How about the worst off seasons in the National League?
This one is easy. This one falls to the Marlins. If you think back to a year ago right now, the Marlins were kind of the toast of the major leagues, moving into a sparkling new stadium, had went out and spent a bunch of money on free agents, had really improved their roster. Things did not go so well, and a year later, you're looking at a team that will be lucky not to lose 100 games this season. So I just think what they did was not fair to their fans, especially when you factor in how much the people in South Florida have put up for this new stadium. So maybe it'll work out a few years down the road with the prospects they received in their fire sale. But for this year, it's going to be a long summer in South Florida. Yeah,
and finally, how about maybe a high-risk, high-reward offseason? I think particularly of the Dodgers, who have not been shy about taking out the checkbook. Analyze their offseason for me and any other team you think has made some risky but potentially rewarding moves.
You definitely look at the Dodgers, and giving Zach Greinke a $147 million contract is a risk. It would be a far greater risk for any team except the Dodgers, who, recently signed that mega TV deal. So I think they can afford to pay Zach Greinke, who will be a number 2 starter, nearly $25 million a year. To me, that's even if that doesn't work out, they're going to be fine. The team that, to me, had an interesting offseason was the Giants, the World Series champion Giants. You can't blame them for wanting to bring back everyone, but I think, they kind of overextended in some of the free agents, or some of the guys they did bring back. They're going to pay Marco Scutaro, who was 37 years old. They gave him a $20 million deal. Jeremy Affeldt, a veteran reliever, just basically a lefty specialist. They gave him $18 million, and then they brought back Angel Pagan, their center fielder, for 4 years and $40 million. So these guys all had very good seasons last year, but I don't think they're the kind of players where you can be sure that they're going to duplicate their success again this season.
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll have 162 games to figure it out. Listen, Stan, thanks so much for your time. Looking forward to talking with you throughout the season.
Thanks, Tom.